All right, it's Drake versus Kendrick, and I'm going to do the astrology charts of both of them to see who's going to win this rap battle. I do not know who they are. I knew that there was a famous guy named Drake. When I heard Drake versus Kendrick, I thought of the baseball player Howie Kendrick. So I'm not in that scene, but this will give me an objectivity that maybe somebody who's biased because they have the records of the one and not the other. You know, if that's your favorite hip hopper and the other guy's not, you're going to be biased. But this is going to be a completely objective analysis of the personality of Drake and the personality of Kendrick. This is the birth chart of Drake. He is a Scorpio, sun in Scorpio, moon in zodiac Cancer. These blue triangles are very lucky. This guy's had a fortunate life. He's super intuitive. He is quick to anger. This is Mars, and it is tense with Pluto. This guy has to be in control. Absolute control freak. Very firm. Demands that things be his way, and is not a man of logic. He is a man of constantly shifting emotion and intuition. Super romantic, super emotional, but again, not a guy who goes by facts and figures. He goes by feelings. This is Kendrick Lamar's chart. Much more of an extrovert than Drake. He has got a sun in Gemini. He has the moon in Pisces. He has Mercury and Mars conjunct. This guy is an intellectual communicator, but he is not afraid of aggressive talk. He is not afraid of a little smack talk. In fact, he kind of makes it known that he's the guy, when you walk in the room, when you meet him, you realize, oh, if anything's out of line, this guy's going to call me on it. This guy's the first person to call anybody on anything. This is a real wildness, a real short trigger. He will shoot first and ask questions later. It does not take a lot to set him off. He's got, this emotional moon in Pisces he's got, these deep feelings, much like, I was saying how Drake is emotional intuitive, but the intellectual nature of Gemini and Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, conjunct Mars, the planet of action. This guy does not, if you beef with this guy, he is going to slice you and dice you with his tongue. His words are going to do what armies have tanks for. As far as where the planets are now, this outer ring is where the planets are now. The inner ring is where the planets were at birth. The big thing happening here is Pluto is squaring this tense angle with this early Scorpio sun of Drake's. And so Pluto square sun is a complete change of how you look at yourself, who you are, even how you're seen. So I think this rap battle has completely altered people's opinions of Drake, and Drake may never get over it. Look at this, Jupiter and Uranus opposite Drake's Venus and Mercury. So Drake's communication has been completely slammed back at him. This is some extreme damage to the way one can actually communicate with the world. And simultaneous with that, Uranus moving into the 10th, his whole career is going to be disrupted. And Uranus is going to be in this 10th house for over 7 years. So this is a major disruption to the career and image of Drake. Meanwhile, the opposite for Kendrick Lamar, look at this, Saturn on the moon. The moon is one's emotional nature, and Saturn is quite a limiting force and a force of focus. But the moon rules zodiac Cancer, the 10th house, the career house of Kendrick Lamar. So the Saturn on the moon means an absolute career boost. Kendrick is 3 or 4 times more famous than he was before this rap battle broke out. And meanwhile, look at that Jupiter-Uranus, which is so tense with planets in Drake's chart, is harmonizing with that moon and harmonizing with that Mars Mercury, the way Drake communicates is actually shocking people, but it is amazing them, and it's really abundant for his career. Meanwhile, that Pluto that is so tense with Drake's sun is very mild aspects right now. Kendrick is still the same person he was before this rap battle broke out, but his career has been forever altered in a great way. So Scorpio, Drake, is the 8th sign of the zodiac, but Gemini is the 8th house of the 8th sign. And Gemini is the only sign that can out Scorpio without even trying. And Kendrick, without even trying, has completely annihilated Drake. If they're talking about Drake 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, he will always be remembered as the guy that Kendrick really put in his place. Meanwhile, Kendrick's career is still on the ascent. There are still rap battles for him to win. He won this one.